Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Youtini show. We're going to talk about Star Wars tonight, and I'm really excited to give us all a bit of relief from a world that's been pretty dark lately. But as a team largely based in the US, given what's been going on in Minnesota this week, it felt wrong to just go right into the fun without acknowledging what's been happening. As Star Wars fans, we grew up learning stories of rebellion over tyranny, and as adults, we've watched shows like Andor where the heroes are people who couldn't just stand by and witness atrocities happen to their fellow man. This weekend, the people of Minneapolis turned up and pushed back as one of their own was gunned down by masked people who have spent weeks pulling their neighbors off the streets. I can't imagine what that's like. But thanks to these stories we love from a galaxy that's getting closer to ours, I can't imagine the strength it takes to fight back. And to every person that braved the negative temperatures, the tear gas, and both the threats and realities of violence and being torn away from your families, you have friends everywhere. We're behind you, and we believe in you. And to all those who continue to wield power over those who they believe are weaker and lesser than them because someone gave them a weapon and a mask, there is an entire nation out there waiting to disgust you. Now, Wes, if you'd be so kind, let's roll the intro again and add some light into this darkness. Let's go. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Youtini show. It's your one-stop shop for all things going on in Star Wars. I'm Eric here with Wes and JG again tonight. And y'all, we do have some really great news to add to your week. Because Maul Shadow Lord has released a full trailer and a series schedule. Lucasfilm Animation reveals some shocking new techniques for that show. Starfighter confirmed what they're doing with the legacy characters. And Taika Waititi, believe it or not, gave his first Star Wars update in years. But to start us off tonight, there's no better place than Janix, the new planet that was featured heavily in the official trailer for Maul Shadow Lord. Our first extended look at the upcoming series dropped last week, and it looks violent, intense, and downright gorgeous. Lucasfilm Animation also revealed the cast list and the release schedule for the series, which may disappoint some fans. But before we get to that, fellas, how did you feel about our first real look at Maul Shadow Lord?
Ooh, I'm giddy.
Yeah. Look,
yes,
we are getting back to Clone Wars animation. We are getting back to a schedule, I guess. We're getting back to some normalcy because we've always had some type of animation series on the cusp, whether it be Clone Wars, Rebels, or I say Clone Wars type, but Bad Batch. We've always had something, so we haven't had anything for a little bit. So I think this is great, and plus this is like you had said in the in the beginning, this is a whole different like animation style.
Oh yeah. This is it is like what we've had, yet better. I think was the idea I had. Yeah. JG, you are a resident animation lover, as anyone who has ever listened to you speak knows. Is this up to your standard of Lucasfilm Animation?
Oh, above. Like it's just crazy how they could keep pushing the needle. Like we were all like losing our minds watching the Bad Batch. And I think the big thing in Bad Batch where they moved the needle forward was specifically in lighting and shadows and such, because there were some gorgeous scenes where they do that really well, especially on Tantus. And now they're just kind of pushing the needle even more forward. And I keep saying this over and over. It is time for them to take that and now to do a full feature animation film. It deserves to be on the big screen.
It absolutely does. That was one of the things I remember watching the Siege of Mandalore when that came out, season 7. Yes. We're all like at our homes and realizing how amazing it is. And I just had the wish of like, my goodness, this is so cinematic. It's so epic. And even though that couldn't happen, even though this won't happen, this does look phenomenal. The trailer was released, as I said, last week. There was a teaser the day before, which I'm like, oh, there's actual publicity for this show. A teaser for a trailer, which Marketing? Is that stupid 11-second thing they do nowadays. But it did prep us. It got us ready for it. And I think it looks awesome. For those that didn't see it, we have it up on the screen now. Of course, make sure you head over to the StarWars.com YouTube channel and watch it for yourselves. It is what we thought. It is Maul in the underworld with the syndicates. This is his rise to power after the Clone Wars. And we got a real good look, especially at Devin, a very human name, but also a Jedi that we're going to see that is going to basically be alongside Maul. It looks like Devin is running from the Empire as a Jedi would after Order 66. Runs in with Maul. guys, we know that Maul remains pretty dang evil throughout his whole career, even after this series. How do you think it's going to work based on just this trailer? His malicious or Maulicious nature, should I say? And then working with the former Jedi. What do you want to see from that?
I want to see kind of what we thought that we would kind of see with Ezra, where in like in season 3 of Rebels and such, like Ezra kind of flirts with the dark side, and we all were like, oh my gosh, is he actually gonna fall and such? I in the most tragically yet beautiful way, and I feel that there could actually really tell a meaningful story here. I do want to see her turn. I want to see her go down that dark path, and I think that there's ways that they can, even though these are characters that we might not quite model our choices in life after, there's still lessons that we can learn from them.
Ooh, media literacy? Really? In 2026?
Crazy.
Yeah, just like just you
Who would've
saying
thought?
that these animated series that Star Wars have put out are they feel very adult to me. I like thinking
Yes.
back to like the cartoons I used to watch. Like one of the ones that like felt a little adult to me when I was younger was Batman the animated series. It was a while back,
Yes.
but it
Oh,
felt
yeah.
like I felt like that one was a little more serious. But like
Mhm.
the animation style, like the depth that they go in with storylines and how maybe or maybe not they turn, like that's like a whole mental gymnastics that's playing, where you think that like 10, 11-year-olds are watching this and they're like fighting back and forth with like, oh man, I was like, I'm more on the Jedi side, I'm more on the Sith
Yeah.
side. Like I wasn't thinking about that when I was watching cartoons. I was just like, yeah, bad guys go down. And but it's like
Yeah.
there's so much to think about now and so much to watch. Like I think that these animated series all bring you to watch this more than once because there's so much
Yes.
involved with it.
Well, and I'll tell you what, it's going to be pretty easy to watch this more than once because I'm skipping ahead only slightly in our notes, but you teed it up so beautifully. We did get a schedule confirmation for this. Maul Shadow Lord premieres on April 6th with a 2-episode premiere. We love a 2-episode premiere. It gets us excited.
Mm.
However, it then is going to be 2 episodes every week, so that's not unique, and it will end on May the 4th. So 10 episodes in total. I'll admit, that is a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. It's not quite a mini series because that's usually like 6 episodes. But if these are like 22 minutes apiece, that is kind of a limited series, right? We're kind of getting maybe 4 or 5 hours of story on that. What do you guys think about the release schedule in general of doing doubles each week? And also, what does that tell you about what the story might be? Like, is this a season 1 with 10 short episodes? Is this just a limited story? Like, I feel like we can get a lot out of just that announcement.
It's so tricky because it's so like they usually go for the like recently with especially with Bad Batch, it's been the standard 15, 16 episodes. Sometimes we would have gotten a little bit more, but I mean, even and I think Rebels even went with that format too, or around there at least. And so with it being shorter, it makes me wonder if this is kind of like a one and done story. But then on the other side, you have like what we're making comments out there that kind of tease that like there could be more. So I think it's very interesting, and I think animation's in a different place where I don't think they quite necessarily need the numbers to justify it because I don't think that you're ever gonna have the numbers to justify it because it's animation.
Right.
So it's in a weird spot, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a finality kind of at the end. They would always leave something open to come back and do another season, but I don't see how you can tell a crime syndicate story with how big the crime syndicates are and how many stories are involved there that you could tell it within 10 episodes and short episodes at that. I think it might go longer. I think it might go longer than just one. Just because there's so much story to tell. It may not be a Maul specific season 2. They may call it something else.
Ooh, yeah.
But and include Maul in it. But maybe they do that. Maybe they just continue the Clone Wars S type animation, but with different titles, and just continue it on until they can find a finality for it.
I could definitely see that.
We have till he gets to Rebels when he's on that planet and such. Basically, we have all that to fill in the gaps because even though we see him in Solo and such, we don't know what's going on around that too. Like that fills in the gaps of what would have been Solo 2. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of interesting room and a lot of interesting characters. I do think this Devin character is I think whatever ends up happening by the end of the season is we're gonna know one way or another if we're getting a season 2 or not.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that Maul has also been a great character for these smaller stories. Like in comics, especially, you got Son of Dathomir, you got the actual regular titled Darth Maul comic that came out way back when. Like he's had a lot of these 6-issue kind of little adventures here and there. And given that it's only 10 episodes, if we're talking 3 to 5 hours, I got a feeling he's meeting this person. This takes place over like maybe a week, right? This story itself.
Yeah.
So if they do that, you have, like you said, you have tons of time. We have all the way up till we get to Solo. Then after that, we have the time to get to Rebels. There is definitely a large swath of Star Wars galactic timeline where Maul is at work. He's working with the Syndicate. So depending on what they want to do with it, I think will depend on, whether it gets another season or like Wes is saying, if they keep doing these little 10 episode, this character, this character, this character. It does help, again, as we said a couple weeks ago, that Dave Filoni is the new co-president of Lucasfilm. I bet that helps getting that approved. When he submits it to himself and stamps it, okay. I bet that goes pretty well. Yeah. But one of the things that we mentioned in Slack when we were talking about this, I think Corey mentioned it, that this engine is so clearly, the animation engine that creates this show is so clearly head and shoulders above anything else going on in the animation space.
Yes.
And it's clearly building off of the past shows. So the money invested inside it doesn't really have to be invested continuously the same amount every single series. They don't have to keep remaking the wheel. They can use the engine that they, I'm sure, have patented in some way. And I'm sure that, behind the scenes, there's a lot of ways to do it. So hopefully that means these are going to be cost effective enough they can continue them. Now, one of the ways I think they are using a little bit of that money, though, is also in casting, because in addition to Devin and some other characters, we found out that Captain Brander Lawson, our new Imperial, is going to be voiced by Wagner Moura, who just got nominated for an Oscar for Best Actor for The Secret Agent. So that is more, expanding the breadth of Star Wars acting, making that, when Diego Luna got hired, when all these people got hired, it gives a little more respectability to it. And we saw that we're going to get Inquisitors back, including that weird, Plague Doctor dude from Tales of the Jedi. So
yeah.
I like the villains that they're setting up here.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I think we can do a lot
Mark,
of that.
of all Inquisitors too, from Ahsoka, Mr. Ghosty,
Can't believe it. Can't believe it. There's going to be a lot of Inquisitors, a lot of lightsaber combat. We've seen a lot of that. I mean, action in this thing. It looks like he gets his own Darth Vader Rogue One hallway fight thing.
Yes.
I think that's going to be really exciting.
I have one speculative question for you guys.
Do it.
Responsibly speculate. Is she gonna become Darth Talon? What do y'all think? That has been the hype since we've seen her, but
right.
We have Filoni is very famously known for taking the best of Legends in putting it into canon and reworking it. And I didn't even think about this, but someone made a really good point that Devin and Talon, they're not really that far off from the names either. So
Yeah, Twi'lek. I mean, it's hard to miss. So
yeah,
I don't
now, is she gonna bleed a lightsaber crystal that turns her own body red? I don't think so. I don't think that we're gonna do that. She's blue, right?
Doesn't have to be red.
Yeah, but that would be the interesting, because that would be the big thing, right? It's like they make her, but she's fully clothed in blue, and the guys are like, "Wait, where's my sexy Twi'lek?"
Yeah, it's just super intense for a animation or cartoon, if you will. So I'm all for it. Because
I didn't even go. Sorry, she's not blue. She's pink. My bad.
It's gonna be reworked, okay? Emphasis on the rework.
Here's my thing. I don't think she's gonna be Darth Talon, because at this point, I don't believe Maul is Darth Maul anymore. He's just Maul. It's just Maul Shadow Lord, right? So he would not. Same thing with Ezra. He was Maul. He abandoned the Darth title once Palpatine abandoned him. So I think that there might be a somewhat reflective story. But as far as him training an apprentice to become one of the dark side and be a Sith, I don't think that's happening. I don't think Maul's going to be a Sith. I think that's a little too deep, especially when you got YouTube or Twitter comment stuff saying, "But Maul died," which there were plenty of those, and hilarious.
He just got a new shipment in from the Sith administrative office of his new business cards that say Darth Maul on it. And he's just like, what am I going to do with all these now? There's just There's a deleted scene of
That's
him
the
just like
problem.
taking a permanent marker and just scratching out Darth on every one of his business cards.
I'm just Maul.
Just Maul now.
Just Maul.
Call me for your services. I'm here to help.
You know what, guys? Hey, Filoni's president now. If he says yes, it flies. So I think that would be cool. One other thing I wanted to mention that we might have forgotten about. It briefly got announced. There is going to be a prequel comic coming in March, set on Janix. It's going to be short. Madevak Muzabekov, who is an all-star artist from Star Wars, is going to be drawing it. I believe it's just a one-shot. Let me double check.
I thought it was a 5, but I could be wrong.
Is it? Wait, what is it here? I'm at the press release here.
Man,
Yep,
where's
5
the-
issue. You're right. 5
Okay.
issues. That's a lot. So the first issue comes out before the series. It's going to end after the series is over, which is crazy. But that comes out in March. So making sure you head over to the Cosmic Forest, listen to those guys talk about that, because that'll be sick. And then JG, just for you, the Kinders are coming back to do the music. Shock of a lifetime. Who would have thunk?
I'm completely blown away. I have no words. You know, the best thing is gonna be them returning to social media to promote. Because my goodness, when Bad Batch was going, just look out for the Kinders to tweet, or I guess on Blue Sky now and everything. Because my gosh, they had some fun insights and fun little teases. They are great individuals.
Yeah, that's just going to be a freaking blast. So coming in April, I think. Yes, coming in April 6th, Monday. So I don't know if it comes out the morning of Monday. Is there going to be a 3 a.m. drop, or they do an evening? If they do an evening drop, that'll really screw us for a month, but that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll get there. And then, of course, the Bounty Hunt podcast will be coming back to cover Maul Shadow Lord every week. So we'll have tons of content here at Youtini to make sure that we keep you up to date on everything going on with our favorite non-Darth. I'm just going to keep thinking about the business cards now, Wes, honestly. Like, I'm just going to need that every time. But as much as we love the intensity of the Maul trailer, we got to say there's also a ton of beauty in it. And it turns out, everybody, there is a reason for that. Over on StarWars.com, executive producer and vice president of Lucasfilm Animation, Athena Portillo, talked about how the team really took...
So Lucas of it all, to like just return to the practical effects of it all, and just to completely like move the needle forward, yet also bring it back to like old school style. Because I'm also them doing matte paintings as well, and just I don't know. I think it's so easy now, and that there's so many ways to quote unquote do it the easy way, and that there's so many, you know, modern innovations. I love that. In a way, it feels like this is kind of like them slowing down and like literally painting glass and then filming it, but then also having to film it in a specific way that it's, you know, not the reflection and all that technical stuff. I think it's incredible, and I think it just means that they're always looking to innovate, and they're not looking to get stagnant, which I think is really good for us Star Wars fans.
Totally agree.
Yeah, totally agree. I remember during the Bad Batch, they had that one scene where it looked like there was a camera, like a camera operator rolling with them and following them down the hallway, like kind of like in
God, that was sick.
like in The Force Awakens. So
Yep.
if they do something like, I'm imagining they're going to add some stuff in there like that, maybe even obviously just top it because it's been a while. But yeah, some of this, like with the engine that they have and the, you know, advances of technology every week, they've got to be able to pull off something that we haven't seen before and that we can talk about, and just they can, you know, use it for future generations or future episodes. So yeah, like video game animation has come a long way. It's become so realistic. It's become so fun to watch, and it's almost it's movie-esque quality. And we're getting that on a streaming service. We're getting that in a weekly show. So I mean, what more could you love?
Yeah. My expectations are so high for it already, but when I heard that thing about them incorporating the practical techniques, I was kind of surprised because my brain breaks a little bit. Obviously, I'm not an animator, nor can I understand the wizardry and what they do, but my brain's like, show is in computer. And then they're like, well, we painted brushstrokes onto glass and then shot them strategically and placed them in shots. I'm like, but that's computer. Glass and paint outside computer. How computer glass? But then painting and computer, like, it's just
with paintings in the background for the scenery in the background, like what?
Yeah, it's just so cool that I will admit, sometimes when I think about the animation shows and these announcements, like this show, it feels a little bit like an afterthought, and they're not. And I know it's not. There's a whole part of Star Wars that has always been respectful. I always set my bar low, and it's always exceeded earnestly with animation, and that's on me probably. But like when they announced this, I'm like, oh, that's a cool Maul show. They're getting some stuff out, before Mandalorian and Grogu comes out, and then we'll see where it goes. But they were making this show, and we're like, what have we never done before? Like, people went to work on this show about Maul, who has been now around in a couple different series, and we're like, how can we use artistry and practical effects to create a sensation that Star Wars fans have never seen and experienced? And that's just really cool. It's just unbelievable, honestly.
We didn't really talk about it too much, but I really loved, especially like the way that the lightsabers are animated. It reminds me of that one Visions episode where it almost like the lightsabers are like almost like paintbrushes almost.
The Sith episode in season 2.
And while it's not like a 1-to-1, it's very like more like if basically we canonize that essentially, and it's so stunning and so gorgeous. And I think the screen captures are just not going to do enough justice. But my gosh. Those are going to, like, I feel like every shot in this show is going to be something you could put on your wall.
Oh, I just thought, like, I only have 1080p TVs in my house. So it's not, it's not
like an $8,000 graphics card. I know, like, figure it out.
Walmart has TVs on clearance, let me tell you. Post cold days.
This show is not. I'm gonna have to watch this on my computer. Or something. And even those don't do it justice.
Unacceptable. We
gotta get that OLED.
Yep. You gotta buy an OLED. You gotta go in pitch black darkness. No reflections on the screen.
Gotta calibrate
it. Phone.
Oh, I'm showing my age.
Yeah. No.
1080p was the turn of the century, guys.
I know, it was amazing. I had a 720p TV up until like 2016, 2017.
So did I.
I'm like, this thing's amazing. There's one little green dot pixel that I can never get rid of. And you know what? That was just in my games. Yeah, this is going to be a work of art, truly. And I hope that there are some guys that'll be scrolling through Disney Plus or whatever that haven't watched a lot of Star Wars and are like, Maul, Darth Maul's cool. And they'll click on it and watch this show. Because I think my hypothesis is he looks cool. And sometimes that's all it takes. This is going to be on the first tab of the Disney thing. Because usually all the recent shows are like on the 3rd or 4th in on the day of. Like Acolyte started there and they moved it. Skeleton Crew was always like 4 or 5 deep. I feel like Maul's going to be like, yo, Maul is here. Look how cool he is.
Yeah, give it like a red background like JG has in his backdrop. Like just make Disney the red and black the day it releases.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's basically they're trying to, and I think this is smart and wise, so I'm not knocking them when I say this, but I think they're trying to do the Vader effect where like there's a reason why we've gotten so many freaking Vader comics, y'all.
Yep.
I think they're trying to do that with Maul for like, I think kind of more of the younger generation. Don't get me wrong. I think a lot of Star Wars fans love Maul, but I definitely think there's something that resonates more with like people who grew up with the prequels and the Clone Wars. And so he's kind of like our Darth Vader.
Yeah. So let's hope so. Let's hope it works out great. That animation style is unbelievable. And again, as much as that we do joke a little bit about it, I earnestly think that Filoni becoming head of Lucasfilm and being the president there for the creative side is going to help these animations series have a lot of life. Not that they weren't given life beforehand. Bad Batch got 3 seasons. Rebels got 4 seasons. Clone Wars got 7 seasons. Like, animation is respected. Resistance got 2 seasons. Like, all these shows have gotten their due. And I think Star Wars, even like you said, JG, it doesn't really have to be financial with them. It seems like they kind of understand we make the movies, we make some of the stuff that makes the money, that churns the merchandise. The animation is going to continue some of the stories, and let's keep that going. So, well done, y'all. It looks great. I'm sure there's going to be some cameos that make us go, oh my God. And even if the stories aren't the most emotionally gripping things, which they can be, Maul's incredible. I just want each week to make me go, oh, whoa. And I think it will. So, very happy. Now, just because all the massive Star Wars news this week was on the small screen doesn't mean we didn't get a couple small movie updates. Screenwriter Jonathan Tropper was on the press tour for his new movie, The Wrecking Crew, when he was naturally asked about his work on the Starfighter script, and he took the time to confirm how they're treating legacy characters, saying, quote, I'm so careful not to reveal anything, but essentially, I think it's known that we have no legacy characters. You're not going to see any of the characters you've seen in the other movies. So there are certain things that are still hallmarks of Star Wars that it's good to have in there, but more than that, I can't say. Guys, do we believe him?
No.
Okay, great.
No. Absolutely not. No.
He
Is he a
started.
denier?
He started it with, or didn't start it with, but he put the words in there. But essentially, it's not definitively. He said essentially.
Yep.
I think it's known there's no legacy character.
I think it's known. Okay, but is it known and true?
Yeah, I
Like-
think somebody pops up
Cheeky.
for sure.
I think 2. I have 2 candidates.
Okay, what do you think? Who do you think? I have
Well-
like one.
Well, I think without getting too deep, because we also really don't know that much, but I do think Rey is in the ending of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is part of our mission, and I think I think Poe's in it. I think
Yeah.
at some point we get Poe.
I was gonna
We
say
have to. It's Starfighter.
Yeah, and it's the latest in the timeline, right? So like they're
Yes.
older. Force
Yes.
Awakens came out 10 years ago. Like
Mhm.
they could realistically be 10 years
Mhm.
older. I think so. Mine's Finn, hilariously.
Oh,
I
that's
think
not
that
on mine.
yeah, because I think the kid might be force sensitive, and then he's working at Rey's Jedi school, and he comes to get him, and that's how that works. But here's my thought. I agree though. It's a post credit or something like that. I don't think that like one of the main characters is legacy. I think that is absolutely true. But listen, guys, we have the creator of Deadpool and Wolverine, which is arguably the most cameoed movie in the history of the universe. I really enjoyed it. People shit on that movie. I loved it because of that.
Good. It's so good.
But there were more cameos and legacy characters in any movie I think that's ever been made. And you're telling me that guy is going to get a Star Wars movie. And they're like, no, you can't do a single one. This guy brought Wesley Snipes as Blade into a movie. And you're like, nah.
Yeah, there's no way he can help himself.
There's no way. He can't help himself. Are you
Yeah.
kidding?
Channing Tatum,
Put us
who
in
never
there.
got to play a certain character either.
Yes.
Like, come on,
There's
no.
no way. And again, I think it's just a post credit. That's fine. But there is a 0% chance. If Starfighter comes out, let me see. What do I want to do? If Starfighter comes out and there is 0 post credit film and 0 legacy character, which to be clear, I am not going to base my enjoyment of the film on that. Like,
Yes.
because I have done that before where I go in and I'm waiting, and it doesn't happen. And I spent the whole movie waiting for something that wasn't going to happen and you
Mhm.
missed the movie. That sucks. Don't do that. If there's none, I don't know. I got 2 years. I'll figure something out. Or I got a
Yeah.
year and a half. I'll figure something out to finish myself with. But like, there's no way because also, my question is, we had this lightsaber battle, which we found out about in an interview. There's a water lightsaber battle. There's 2 brand new people we've never seen before that both have lightsabers 10 years after, and Rey's not involved. Really?
Suspicious.
Very,
Really?
very.
That's
Is she
suspicious.
not very good at this?
I think like as you guys said, it either Rey or Poe or Finn. I think
Yep.
we see BB-8 roll through at the end, and then either
Hey.
Poe or Rey, and they show
Mm.
BB like, where are you going?
Yeah.
And then like cuts off or something. But yeah, I
I-
think that would be an easy way to add
Yeah.
in somebody like. But how?
Mm.
Why does he say? But more than that, I can't say. Like
I don't know. 'Cause
you
that seems like a
said,
definitive statement.
like you're saying that it's not going to be in there, but you're
Right.
saying you can't say.
Right.
Come
Yeah,
on.
because
He's
listen, I
baiting
think
us.
also the Starfighter. I'm very excited that it's going to be a separate story and it's going to be its own thing.
Yeah.
But realistically, Star Wars movies going forward from a marketing standpoint, you have to connect them in some way.
Yes.
Like for as much as people poo-poo the Marvel and being so interconnected, DC, all this stuff, like it works. It's what you have to do to get people interested in franchise storytelling. So if the second Star Wars movie at all after the main Skywalker saga has nothing to do with literally anything, but is fun, that's great. You can't put a $300 million movie just in cinemas for no reason before you do your trilogy just to buy time. Like, I think there's going to be something involved in it, and if it's
point.
in that time period, it just makes sense to have something because I was researching this and I want you guys to check me on this. I might be wrong. I was trying to think any of the new Star Wars projects that have had 0 returning characters. I think it's just Skeleton Crew.
I was thinking just Skeleton Crew too.
Like, I think that's it. Because even Acolyte had Yoda at the end and Kiadi-Mundi and Plagueis. So yeah, that's plenty.
Yeah.
Like, that had very few, but like Mandalorian started that way, but then eventually like Luke, obviously.
Yeah.
Coming in, pretty big deal. Book of Boba Fett, like
yeah.
Obi-Wan, Andor, like all these shows.
Yeah, I think
like,
Skeleton Crew is the only one
that had nothing, which was also frankly quite surprising that it had nothing, and they had to cut themselves off from the galaxy. But like, yeah, there's I would be shocked. Now, do it well. That's fine. But Jonathan, I appreciate you being on the press tour. I appreciate you saying what you gotta. I don't believe you.
Nope.
I don't.
Nope.
As Ron Burgundy would say, I don't believe you. I think you're absolutely a liar.
Contractually obligated to lie.
Ooh, we got a technicality question in the chat. Bundle of vowels. Do sequel trilogy characters count as legacy characters? Is it only OG? For me, legacy means anyone. But if he's going by the technicality, he says, well, the OG is the legacy. Nah, once you're in it, once your trilogy is over, everyone's legacy. But that's a good point. They might be thinking that. So we'll see. Starfighter comes out next year. I'm just going to keep repeating it because I can't lie to you guys. I've been on the show for too long. I'm so much more excited for this than Mandalorian and Grogu. I'm so stoked for Starfighter. I wanted to skip ahead to it. But I think this movie's going to rule, and I think it's going to be a legacy character.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. Sorry, Jonathan. But finally tonight, everybody, for the first time in years, Taika Waititi has finally spoken out about his Star Wars movie that apparently isn't dead. Somehow it returned, like Palpatine. After Kathleen Kennedy confirmed that Taika had turned in a script during her exit interview with Deadline, the writer-director spoke about the project at Sundance, saying, quote, the stakes are very high, and there's serious things going on, but there's also a lot of fun to be had in those films. That's what I was trying to bring back. Now, before we get into a view of his other equally vague statements that say nothing, what do we think about the state of this project now? Like, is he finally just released? Can he just talk about it?
I'm just so surprised that he even turned in a script. Like, I know we talked about this, and I've said it before, and so much. Like, I never thought, it's based off what Kathy was talking about, that we would ever see a script or that there would it would ever be completed. So this is already like way more further along than I ever dreamed that it could be. And I honestly, more than any project that is either officially announced or unofficially announced, this is the one I most desperately want.
Really?
Yes.
Fascinating.
Jojo Rabbit. Once I watched Jojo Rabbit for the first time, that movie like legitimately like changed my life.
I love that movie.
I just love what Taika does, and I just need more of that. I think there's a way where I think people are scared that he would do comedy in Star Wars in a weird way, but I think Jojo Rabbit, once again, is such a perfect example of how to take something that is so dire and serious and yet put so much joy and life into it that at the end of it, you're just like, cinema.
I hope so. I also saw Thor: Love and Thunder. But Wes, what do you think about this movie? Is it real? Like, is he finally going to start saying stuff?
I wouldn't think that they would even acknowledge that he turned in a script if they didn't have something in the making already. Like, I'm not that tied into movie making and like with Marvel and everything. Like, do they talk about like scripts that are being turned in all the time and this may or may not happen? Like, I think Star Wars is the only one that I've heard of, just basically because I'm tied into it a little bit more than anything else.
Yeah.
That they talk about scripts and they're like, oh, it may not happen, but there's a script there. Like, if there's a script, if there's smoke, there's fire. Yep. There's something there,
Kathy
right?
said Star Wars is way more scrutinized than any other anything when it comes to this. No one else has this level of exactly. But I think what he's saying at least is confirming, yes, there was a script, so he's completed the story at least in his own mind. And I think he is doing exactly what his media training has taught him to do, which is basically say absolutely nothing. He's like, there's serious stakes, but it's fun, like the original ones. And it's like, all right, that doesn't mean a lot. He had two other quotes that I thought were fun. He said, I'm just trying to go back and harness a little bit more of the fun from the original films, which is what I remember from them. And I was trying to work in a world that was a little bit separate to that because they've got so many things going on within that space. For me to do something there, it would need to be a little different and a little more its own thing. Again, do those statements mean anything? No, that's nothing. That is nothing. But I like that he's at least acknowledging it, and that I think journalists are now allowed to ask him about it. And I think the more he talks about it in public, the more that we now put the pressure on, the more that the higher ups are like, okay, it's out there. Now people will know you didn't want it, right? I think that was Kathy's greatest gift, is being like, I've seen the script. I basically know Dave wants it. So, Taika, you can ask him about it. It does exist. All right, Bob, if that movie doesn't come out now, everybody knows it was you.
Yep.
I like that. I like that.
I don't know, it just feels like it's like what we've been asking for, which is for like the fact that this galaxy is so freaking huge and that there's so many corners and like infinite time essentially for you to play with. It seems like that he was gonna do. I mean, we are very excited for Starfighter, and I think Starfighter is gonna be its own little mostly corner niche of the world until it does slightly connect into future films and whatnot. I think this genuinely properly would have been probably the closest that we would have gotten to Skeleton Crew of having next to nothing.
Yeah. I think that's where we're going. I think he is saying like it's basically him. There's his idea, his area of the galaxy. He's hopefully being given totally creative freedom on it. And again, the fact that he's at least not saying, well, maybe someday we'll get there. It's in the stages. Like, I do believe now he's all but confirming the script is set. He knows the story is. He's just waiting on the green light. Because he's saying it in the present tense. I'm trying to go back and harness this. I'm trying to work in the world this way. The stakes are high. Things are going on. Like, speaking about it in a very present, active manner, I think also does a lot, as opposed to when Soderbergh and, you know, they talked about the Ben Solo movie, like, oh, we wanted to do this. We tried to do this. We were doing that. And maybe, if anything else, last week, this propulsion going forward. I like what we're hearing. So we'll see. This is, I mean, if we get this before 2033, I'll be shocked, but
a miracle.
Yeah, like we got plenty of stuff going on though, so very excited on that. It was a weird week in Star Wars news. What can I say? I mean, Maul being a thing that's coming out now in what, two-ish months, 2 months and a week, something like that. I think we're gonna get a lot more about that. I think we're gonna get some Sam Witwer interviews. I think we're gonna get some more teasers, and
That's
obviously
just
the
a teaser trailer of all things.
That's guys. What's the difference between a teaser and a trailer?
One gives you the vibes, and one gives you the plot. Genuinely,
is that what it is? Teaser is vibes, and trailer is plot.
More times than not, yeah. Teaser kind of just introduces like kind of the vibes and the tone and the like mood of it all, and then usually when you get your official, you're kind of getting a, hey, this is like what the quest or the mission of the story is, and where we're gonna go, and give you the big flashy moments and get you hyped to go see it.
Yeah, because we didn't know we knew next to nothing on the teaser. We were just like, wow, that's amazing. We're so into this. And they're like, but what's it about? Like, what is that? What is the context? Right?
You know what?
You're right.
All right.
We'll get that in March. We'll get that in March.
That's awesome. We got plenty of time. We got plenty of time. So, all right, cool. Well, everybody, we're going to keep you posted on all that. Again, shortest updates this week. Not a whole ton going on, but it was still, you know, a couple bits of light after a really hard week. So I will say, all y'all, stay safe out there. It's been cold. What can I say? It's been an icy weekend all around. So regardless of the status of the ice in your area, make sure you stay safe. Good news, it melted around us today. So this metaphor can go as far as we want. So, but regardless of what happens throughout the week, we will be back next week with all the news that's fit to print. Hopefully we get some more Star Wars-ness going on. Again, I don't think it's an accident that we got some Maul news after the president announcement. Like we said last week, things are in motion. Things are going to start to put it out. Like, I don't know. If we have to look forward, not necessarily for next week, what do you guys think's coming on the pipeline now? Like, is Maul going to be in full PR stuff? Is Mandalorian and Grogu going to start getting more stuff? What are we looking at?
I think they need to like steamroll the Mandalorian and Grogu, because I haven't seen a thing since like for months. And JG, like you said,
they're in the IMAX ad at AMC now, which I think is helpful.
Yes,
like that's when it counts down to watch an IMAX, it like shows you that, but could use more.
I think once we get Super Bowl is gonna give us. I think they're gonna go
Ooh,
guns a blazing.
that'd be good.
I think we're gonna get I think they are gonna put the money to where their mouth is. I think we're getting a full trailer at the Super Bowl. They want all those eyes on it. They're not gonna do that cute little here's 30 seconds, watch it on YouTube. No, they need every single eye on this movie, and they're gonna spend that penny to pay for that minute 30-second ad. However billions of dollars that is or whatever it is.
You need to put Grogu in the face of the suburban moms that have just been cooking all day for the Super Bowl party. Like, earnestly, you need it.
Yes.
Yeah, close to it. Okay, so it's 8 million for a 30-second spot in 2025. So probably 9 or 10 for this year.
30 million. Drop the 30 million. Bro.
Oh my gosh, it's it's dropping the bucket, right, for Disney, but still.
Yeah.
Well,
probably
for
not
marketing,
realistic, but
I don't know. Well, because what? Hold on, I'm gonna figure this out. What channel is the Super Bowl on this year?
Peacock.
Is it on any
NBC.
channel? It's on what?
Peacock. NBC.
Oh dang. Okay. If it was ABC, ESPN, maybe. I think.
Yeah.
Oh right. Yeah.
Yeah, they can't pay
it'll probably be 30
themselves
seconds.
for it.
It'll probably be 30
I
seconds.
think they will do 30 seconds. Watch the full trailer now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But like, I think we're gonna get like Bad Bunny, Grogu. I think that's gonna be Bad Bunny's
on
like,
his shoulder.
Like that was Apple Presents the halftime show over. That was Bad Bunny, and then it's like, like that's what's gonna happen. We're gonna get that little green bastard is gonna pop up right after. Because historically, the commercial after the halftime show is the most watched commercial of the year.
Yes.
Because everyone that's watching the game watched the halftime show. Everyone that just watched the halftime show watched the halftime show.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't left the room yet to get more dip. I haven't asked Wes. I bet you make a mean buffalo chicken dip for the Super Bowl.
Buffalo chicken dip. I leave that for my friend's wife. She makes a incredible buffalo chicken dip. But
I should have been more serious. I bet there's a great buffalo chicken dip wherever you go.
I'm a normal just Velveeta, Rotel, and then maybe ground beef.
Yes.
Just it's so easy. It's so terrible for you, but it's always the best. It's always like a staple that we always make that in the crock pot. So I mean, it's always there.
I'm starving now. Immediately after saying that, I'm gonna go put some in my own crock pot. Maybe get some more of that. So, y'all, thank you as always for tuning in the Youtini Show. We love hanging out with you every single week. We'll be back next Monday with all that's going on in Star Wars. And until then, have a great week. Read some Star Wars comics. Read some Star Wars books. Heads up, Star Wars Outlaws Low Red Moon comes out next week. So pick that up. Our review will be slightly delayed. I think it's coming out the week after, but we'll keep you posted on that. But that, my friends, is going to do it for this week's episode of the Youtini Show. Have a great week. Hope it's warming up where you are. Hope if you lost power, it's coming back so you can watch more and more Star Wars. We'll see you next Monday night. And as always, may the Force be with you.